Well, the US Federal Reserve has raised interest rates by 0.75% for a third consecutive time. It is the fifth rate rise by the central bank this year. There are growing concerns that these increases are slowing the economy so aggressively that households and businesses will soon feel the pain and the country could go into a recession. But bank officials are defending the latest rise.
My colleagues and I are strongly committed to bringing inflation back down to our 2% goal. We have both the tools we need and the resolve that it will take to restore price stability on behalf of American families and businesses.
With more rate rises penciled in for the rest of the year, experts are warning that Australia needs to batten down the hatches as the RBA is likely to follow suit. The Australian's business columnist, Robert Gottliebsen, joins us right now from Anglesea in Victoria. Robert, this is not pretty. Will the RBA follow Jerome Powell's lead on rate hikes, do you think?
Well, they'll be under pressure to do so. They won't want to. Just be clear what the US is doing. Jerome Powell is saying, I'm going to increase rates by over 2% to 4.6%. And I'm going to leave them there all of 2023 and I'll start lowering them later. I don't care, he says, if there's a recession. I hope there won't be, but if there is, so be it. My job is to get the inflation down. And I do it because those interest rates stop people spending in cafes and travelling and all that sort of thing, and it creates unemployment. And he's quite clear that what he's doing will create unemployment. Indeed, it's that unemployment that will bring the inflation down. Now, here in Australia, let's say our Reserve Bank Governor, Philip Lowe, said, I don't mind. I'm just going to let the US lift the rates and I'll lift my rates a little bit, but nothing like that. Watch the dollar fall. Watch the dollar fall. And that means your petrol will go up in price because we pay for it in US dollars. A whole raft of imports will go up. Our miners will do better because they're exporting US dollars. And so there's going to be enormous pressure by global markets for Philip Lowe to put the rates higher. But we have a problem in Australia, which I think is unique in the world. Absolutely stupidly, we went on a lending spree to mortgage holders in 2020 and 2021. About 30% of our total mortgage book was issued in those 2 years at no interest, very low interest rates. And those people are mainly on flexible rates, and even the ones that are on fixed rates, they're short-term fixed rates, and they are going to cop it in the neck very, very hard. They'll stop spending, right? And so if we were to follow the US, and as I said before, Lowe will not want to do it, we'll certainly have a recession, quite a deep one.
Okay. Do those circumstances change if the war in Ukraine comes to an end before the end of the year?
Only to the extent that it would, if the price of oil and gas went down, and certainly that would help our inflationary situation. But this inflationary situation is much bigger than that. It's into the wages system. It's got into the whole pricing mechanism, and particularly in the US, but here too. And yes, lower oil prices certainly help. There's no question about that. But it wouldn't solve the problem. It's going to be a tough time.
Having said all of that, though, Robert, we are about to slash spending, according to the Treasurer. That's the right thing to do before this train comes to the station, isn't it?
Well, it's certainly that's part of the. If you shut your spending down, that means the stimulation that's taking place in the economy is reduced. And by the way, the US is doing that too by its bond buying programs. Yes, that helps. No question about that. And certainly if you spend big, it makes it even harder for the central bank. So yes, it's important, but we're squeezed on about 3 different fronts. We've stupidly loaned all this money, and so a whole lump of consumers will be hard hit. And it's already starting in the retail sales now. We're seeing it. We've got the problem of the dollar. If in fact we don't follow the US, so these are difficult management situations.
Exactly.
For the
Robert, I've got to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time this evening, especially on a holiday like this. Robert Gottliebsen, appreciate your time.